If there's one expert to ask about the power of data, it is Carlo van der Weijer, General Manager of the Eindhoven Artificial Intelligence Systems Institute and member of the Advisory Board of Intertraffic. Our Program Manager, Esther de Waard, paid him a visit to get the latest insights. Let's have a look.
Welcome, Carlo.
Glad to be here.
The next edition of Intertraffic, we will have a strong focus on the ever-increasing digitalization and the importance of data exchange. How do you see these new technologies and these data exchange? How can they play a role in creating like really, truly livable and accessible cities and meeting the demands of the connected traveler? How do you see this?
Yeah, actually this is already going on for maybe decades. If you looked at the Intertraffic 20 years ago, it was all on hardware and making roads safer, and they did a good job, by the way, because we really hugely increased the safety on the roads. So thanks to that. But just imagine 15 years ago, when you would leave your house, you hadn't got a clue what your arrival time would be in a trip, because there was no such thing as traffic information or even navigation systems, etc. So that you cannot imagine that nowadays, that changed so fast. And the same is with these parking information systems that we now have. In the old days, you just queued up, you haven't got a clue what it would take. And now we're changing that even further, that you might also be able to reserve your spot, etc. So this traffic is going to smoothen and smoothen. It gets smoother all the day, all the time. And that's something that we already achieved a lot, but you will see the next step, and that's all being done with data, because you have to know what's happening, what's going on in order to be able to control anything. And so I join you in this focus on digitization. That's a good thing.
And yeah, of course, a lot of benefits for the road user, for the traveler. And how about the road operators and the city policymakers? How will they benefit?
Yeah, there's a nice thing going on, is that you have a kind of public-private cooperation by definition, because the authorities have a bit of data, but the market parties that come in, they have so much data on what's happening, and the cars themselves, etc. They know so much of what's happening. They have all these kind of sensors. And at first, all the authorities wanted to measure everything themselves as well, so they start implementing sensors and what have you. But they can never compete with these market parties. So, but on the other hand, they should never give out control to market parties. They are responsible for what's happening on the network. So this is the difficult thing. This is why I hope that a lot of public and private parties will meet here at Intertraffic in order to find solutions, because they have to cooperate per definition. And just like examples that you have for this, TomTom is now cooperating with the governments in order to share their data to improve the traffic flow at traffic lights. So they know when there's a piling up, so then the traffic lights can give a little bit extra green, so you have a better flow, etc. This is exactly these kind of examples, and there are plenty of these kind of examples, hopefully also here at Intertraffic.
Yeah, and how do you see the future of artificial intelligence? How will this evolve?
Yeah, so in this organization kind of thing, you can do a lot extra. So artificial intelligence is machines trying to think like humans, and all these clever things that we do, they can help us with. And it will lead to a better system if we organize that well. If we get this machine-man interface well organized, and that's what's happening at the moment. There's also a lot of talking, if you talk about artificial intelligence and mobility, on these self-driving cars and robo-taxis taking over the entire mobility. I'm not such a believer in that kind of mobility. I think it's a solution looking for a problem. But also there, I do expect a lot of automated systems, as in taking over just before you make an accident. This ADAS, as they call it, maybe. But you have a possibility with AI and with all this technology to make vehicles inherently safe. My biggest frustration is that most of the accidents that happen nowadays could have been prevented with technology that's already on the shelf. So we should improve that technology, that people don't shift it off, and we should implement that as fast as possible in the traffic systems to make it inherently safe. And this is the cooperation that we need between machines and man. Machines are very good to support human beings, but human beings are very bad in supervising machines. So you should have there a very good solution for that one. That's what people are working on.